Why are good coaches or championship level coaches at that getting fired in the NBA? I'm fucking confused. I really am. I'm kerfuffled, guys. I'm kerfuffled. Like I just don't understand. Like at the time of this recording, the play-in just started. Uh, the playoffs is about to start this weekend, and I don't know. I just been thinking about it a lot after the Mike Malone fire, and it just really don't make no sense. At first, when Mike Malone got fired, I thought it was some like scandal shit, right? I thought he did something, a little egregious, something that he wasn't supposed to do, and they let him go. Come to find out, it was some disagreement shit. But I'll get into that in a second. For me, right? Who am I, right? I'm just a guy talking on YouTube. But I love basketball. I've been watching basketball since what I was 7, 8 years old, probably even before that. Um, and I also play a lot of my NBA on 2K as well. If a coach for me wins a championship, that buys him at least 5 years of job security. Even if we have some, down seasons, that gives him a championship, gives him, for me, at least 5 years of job security if a coach wins me a championship. The Lakers, after winning a championship in the bubble, I know people like to say, oh, it was a bubble championship, blah, 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 blah. A chip is a chip, okay? Frank Vogel wins the championship in the bubble with the Lakers. He gets fired the next season because they start off a little slow. The Raptors, when they won a championship in 2019, was that? I believe it was either 2018 or 2019. Fired Nick Nurse after winning a championship because they weren't as good as they were in the previous year, even though they lost their best player, Kawhi Leonard, the player that won them the championship in the first place. Kawhi went to the Clippers. They got worse, and they were like, well, why are we playing worse? And they fired Nick Nurse. That doesn't make any sense. If I was Nick Nurse, I would have pleaded, like, guys, Kawhi is gone. And really, realistically, we shouldn't have won the championship because KD and Klay Thompson went down in that series. If they don't go down, we don't win that series. But the Raptors fired Nick Nurse. This one really grinds my gears. This really pisses me off because I still don't understand to this day why this happened. The Bucks won a championship in 2021. They fired Coach Bud. I don't even remember why they fired Coach Bud. I believe, again, it was a similar situation. They just didn't have as good of a season that following year. But he just won you a championship. Why are you firing? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that next year the Bucks lost to the Heat. Let me know in the comments down below if I'm wrong or not. I'm going off the top of my head with this. I believe after they won the championship, the Bucks lost to the Heat in the playoffs that next year, or the year after that, something like that. And I think that's why he got fired. Is that bad? Yes, but we also need to add in there that the Heat, with the power of friendship and Jimmy Butler leading them, ended up going to the finals that year. So you lost to the team that went to the finals and could have won a championship. Yes, they were an 8th seed or a 7th seed or something like that, and you shouldn't have lost that series. I agree. But they still ended up going to the finals. So something had to have been going on with that squad. And regardless, I just won you a championship. Why am I on the hot seat? Because we didn't have. It's not like we didn't make the playoffs. We just had a rough season. We didn't go to the finals. I'm being fired for that after I just won? What is the criteria for coaching in the NBA? Because it's like, you got guys like Doc Rivers who, yes, he gets fired a lot, but he always has a job. And he only won one championship in 2008 that he's been milking for years. On a team that really underachieved. They should have won 2 or 3. People always talk about LeBron and Miami being a super team and LeBron starting the super team era. No. The 2008 Boston Celtics started the super team era when they went out and got Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen when they already had Paul Pierce, and then Rajon Rondo turned into an all-star level player. But they had already been cheating because no one had ever seen that before. 3 all-star MVP level motherfuckers on one team, and then the point guard, the young point guard, turns into an all-star himself. Which they didn't know that was going to happen, but just the big 3 themselves was enough. That's why LeBron went to Miami, because those motherfuckers grouped up together to beat him. I hear people all the time, oh, LeBron started the super team era. LeBron started the super team era. No, he went to Miami as a response to the Celtics having 3 Hall of Fame, all-star level, superstar MVP level players on top of Rajon Rondo, who motherfuckers forget was also an all-star. What do you expect me to do? Keep getting my ass whooped? That's a different video for a different day. And then, most recently, literally a couple weeks ago, the Denver Nuggets fired Mike Malone because of some issues in the locker room where people weren't taking a film study and just him seriously for some reason. I don't know why. Now, my buddy Angel, you seen him on the 3 on Plax TV podcast. It was him, my buddy Rozak. Angel's been on the channel a lot on my vlogs and basketball videos and all that stuff. He's like my brother. I love him. He doesn't agree with me on this. I think the person that wasn't taking film study and stuff seriously was Jokic. The reason I think that is because I don't think another player on that team being upset or having an issue with Mike Malone would cause Mike Malone to get fired besides Jokic. Right? Angel's thing is he just doesn't think Jokic is that type of guy to cause a problem or not watch film or not listen to the coach or anything like that. But my viewpoint was with this, and I'm sure Angel will comment on this, or shit, Angel, if you want to, you could do a little clip or something, and I can give you a response to this. But my thing is, one, I don't think Jamal Murray could get Mike Malone fired. I don't think Michael Porter Jr. or Christian Braun or Aaron Gordon or any of those guys could get Mike Malone fired. The only player that could get Jokic fired, that could get Mike Malone fired is Jokic, in my opinion. Also, too, as great as Jokic is, he's one of the greatest centers of all time. He's one of the greatest players of all time. He's probably going to win MVP again. Jokic does not give a fuck about basketball. I think he might borderline hate basketball. This, to him, is like my 9-to-5 jobs. I make phone calls during the week, and on the weekends I do security. I hate those things. I hate those things because I want to do this. I want to make content, just to give a little insider on me. I want to make content for a living. I don't want to be doing security and making phone calls for people. This is not what I want to do. Jokic is in the NBA, and he's one of the greatest basketball players ever, but he wants to race horses and chill. That's his passion. But the thing is, racing horses he's not going to make the same amount of money racing horses as he does in the NBA and playing basketball. And he's also 7 feet tall. So that's just tough in general. Like, you're a 7-foot horse racer, get on the court, brother. What are you doing? Get on the fucking court. And he could fund his horse racing situation with, the exploits of his brothers, but that's very dangerous. You can end up in jail, you can end up dead. There's a lot of different things that can happen. So I think Jokic was like my best course of action is playing basketball, and then in the summer and on my time off, I'm going to do my passion. But I say all that to say, Jokic doesn't give a fuck about basketball. I don't even think he likes basketball. So this is literally just a dreadful 9-to-5 that he has to do to take care of his family and, and feed his horse racing habit. So that's what leads me to believe that he was the one who wasn't necessarily taking film study seriously, being full of shit, as Mike Malone said in the press conference before he got fired, and just kind of just being like tired and just not, giving it his all on one side of it. On the court, does he give it his all every night? Yes, of course. He averaged a fucking triple double, and I think that's what it was. I think Mike Malone might have been going over film or something like that, or getting on him about like some type of practice situation or something, and Jokic probably maybe not blatantly, but he kind of just was shrugging Mike Malone off like, I'm averaging a triple double. What the fuck are you talking about? Talk to these other motherfuckers, not me. I don't think he said that, but actions also speak louder than words. I think he kind of just waved Mike Malone off a few times, and I think that's what caused the problem. And again, the real basis of my theory with that is that I don't think nobody else on the team could get Mike Malone fired. Maybe it was a lot of guys also that were acting like that, and maybe it wasn't Jokic, but it was like Murray, Michael Porter Jr., and Aaron Gordon together acting a certain way, and that's what got him fired. Maybe that was the situation, but I don't know. I for some reason I just think it was just him having a beef with Yoke, or not a beef, but like just a subtle beef with Yoke. And when it comes down to you or Jokic, Mike Malone, pack your bags. And I think that's going to happen every time with any coach, to be completely honest. Then another coach that got fired, Taylor Jenkins. Taylor Jenkins got fired because, Memphis had just had a couple rough seasons. But can we add context to those situations? Like, Ja Morant got suspended for brandishing weapons and going to strip clubs and all this shit. All that dumbass shit he was doing. He got suspended like twice for that shit. Then he came back and he was rolling and things were looking good. And he got hurt. And they've been dealing with a lot of injuries. Like Gigi Jackson, who probably could have won Rookie of the Year this year, been injured most of the year. You got a rookie center in Zach Edey, who's very solid, but he's a rookie. And we saw him being a rookie in the game against Golden State. He was struggling. He still got like 15, 16 rebounds, and he was blocking shots, and he did the best he can. And that's because he's just a really good player, and I think he's going to be a good vet as long as he gets to stay in the league. But he's a rookie. You put him in a rough situation. I have to pop out and guard Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry. He can't do that. This is my first playoff experience. This ain't even the real playoffs. You got a rookie big. Your star rookie is hurt or is out, has been out most of the season. Your star player has been out most of the season and for the past few seasons. And Taylor Jenkins still somehow was keeping those guys in the fight. Like last year, they didn't make the playoffs, but even still, they're in the play-in. They might even make it to the actual playoffs. At the time of this recording, I believe they got to play another game or something like that. I can't recall. Oh, no. I think they are. I think they are good. I think they are in it. I can't recall. But why are you firing Taylor Jenkins when he hasn't had a full squad in like 3 seasons? He's proven himself to be a solid coach because before all this whole situation with Ja, his injuries and the guns and all that stuff, they were a top 3 team in the West, a top 3 team in the league, with Ja and Bane and Jaren Jackson and that ensemble around them. They were rolling, and I think partially that's because of Taylor Jenkins coaching. And you fucking fire him because he's short-staffed. That's like if I run a Wendy's. And to run a Wendy's in the afternoon, you need 7 people on staff. And you keep sending me out in the afternoons during lunch rush with 4 people. What the fuck do you expect me to do? Oh man, we're a little behind on production. Fuck you. buddy. Yeah, of course we are. We don't have 7 people. We have 4. My best burger flipper is in jail for brandishing a gun. Our new guy slipped and fell after mopping the floor. He's out for 6 months. My cashier, this is their first job. They nervous. What do you expect me to do? I don't know. I just would like to know what the criteria. Maybe it's just different teams. Maybe there's just not a general criteria for coaching in the NBA. I just think it's just so all over the place. Because like I said, you got Doc Rivers and Billy Donovan and guys like that that aren't doing shit and struggling with all-star level teams like Doc Rivers does. But then Coach Bud gets fired. Nick Nurse. Oh fuck! This is another one that pissed me off. Mike Brown, Sacramento. What are you doing? The whole like the beam thing. Y'all made the playoffs for the first time because of Mike Brown. Yes, De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk and Sabonis and those guys. But Mike Brown put that team together. He got them rolling. They have a bad start to start the season and you fire Mike Brown? You haven't been in the fucking playoffs since Chris Webber was in the league. But you fire Mike Brown because he has a bad start? First of all, Kevin Huerter, that's why y'all traded him, and fucking Keegan Murray forgot how to play basketball for some reason. Why is that Mike Brown's fault? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, and then you lost De'Aaron Fox because of that. Your best player in decades, you lost him because of that. I would just like to know the criteria of coaching in the NBA. Like what? Like apparently winning a championship doesn't mean anything. Apparently. Mediocrity is better than winning. I don't know. It's just confusing. Maybe like I would like to have a conversation about this with y'all. Like let me know in the comments down below. I don't know if this is gonna be a clip or anything like that, but let me know. Like, what do you think? Like, how do you feel about some of these coach moves? Do you think they're justified? Do you think they should have a little bit more of a chance? Maybe you could say Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins are like on a different side of it. Maybe they, maybe that's a little different. But if a coach have won a championship for me, from the time of that championship, he gets 5. He should get 4 to 5 years of job security. And that's just me. But again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, make sure you ding that notification bell so you know every time I drop a video. And most of all, YouTube. I love you guys. Peace out.
It's the 3 on Plex TV.